Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day. The truth behind Super Saiyan 4 Trunks. Is Super Saiyan 4 Trunks possible? Now this is an interesting topic with many different branches to follow. But what makes me cover this topic is because there's actually a well of information that eventually leads to a fairly conclusive answer. So first things first, let's clear up some important little tidbits before we delve into this. Super Saiyan 4 was a concept created by Toei Animation for dragonballgt. It was not created by Akira Toriyama. The original design was done by Katsuyoshi Naketsuru, which offered an amazing throwback to the Saiyan roots, the Uzaru transformation. It's often mistaken that Toriyama came up with Super Saiyan 4 for GT, because of a tribute drawing of Super Saiyan 4 Goku that Toriyama did years after Dragon Ball GT had ended, occasionally mistaken to be a concept piece. But many fans over the years have theorised that in GT's continuity, Super Saiyan 4 could be what the original Super Saiyan of Legend was supposed to look like. This isn't to be confused with Yamoshi, the original Super Saiyan God, which was different altogether. But this would mean that rather than what we know as being Super Saiyans, it means that Super Saiyan 1 to 3 are extreme power boosts that led to the legendary transformation, meaning that they're more like Super Saiyan 0.3, 0.6 and 0.9 etc. And I personally like this idea in GT's continuity because there's nothing really that knocks it. And actually, it makes quite a bit of sense. None of the cast had actually ever seen the original Super Saiyan of Legend, so nobody could really argue or agree to what it should or shouldn't have looked like when Goku originally transformed. Thus meaning a transformation experienced by any Saiyan could have easily been convincing as being a full-blown Super Saiyan from its get-go. This is given more credence due to the fact that Toei Animation drew a vague silhouette of a golden Uzaru back when Dragon Ball Z was in the Namek arc and Vegeta was pondering the legends of the original Super Saiyan. And given that Toei Animation created Super Saiyan 4, it could effectively be themselves trying to retcon Super Saiyan 4 into being the original Super Saiyan transformation. But anyway, with that being said, let's look at some more lore the show introduces for the transformation. GT made a big deal that Goku would require his tail to get his power boost during the baby arc. And eventually this led to the Golden Uzaru transformation, which would be later leading to Super Saiyan 4. In the final arc that followed, however, Vegeta would be shown to skip the need of a tail, transforming into Super Saiyan 4 using Bulma's Blutz wave emitter. Some people viewed this transformation as cheating for Vegeta to achieve this form, however in reality it isn't really because it's just pumping him with so many Blutz waves that it means that he didn't need his tail to transform. But all in all, it doesn't mean that he falsely obtained strength. All he did was receive Blutz waves to push him to that transformation, which in the Dragon Ball canon, Blutz waves are just waves emitted by the moon. And there's nothing powerful about that. Why do I mention this? Well, because this leads into the future Super Saiyan 4 transformations that we actually see. Having seen that in GT's story there's a workaround to not needing a tail and yet still being able to achieve Super Saiyan 4, this now means that a Saiyan without a tail is not deprived of ever achieving Super Saiyan 4. The next thing to tackle is whether Super Saiyan 4 is a pure Saiyan transformation, or whether it could be used by any Saiyan, pure or hybrid. Its primal appearance and links to the pure Saiyans makes it seem like it might be exclusive to pure Saiyans, mainly because of the fact that transformation forces tail growth, as witnessed with Vegeta. Also, it's easily mistaken to believe that being a pure Saiyan was a prerequisite simply because we'd only ever seen Goku and Vegeta transform into a Super Saiyan 4 in the original run of GT. This is the same case where many fans believed female Saiyans couldn't transform into a Super Saiyan simply because we never saw one until Dragon Ball Super. The counterpoint to the pure Saiyan argument is that Toei spearheaded choices and creative direction of Dragon Ball heroes for a long time, and still do. And don't get that twisted, they don't directly work on the games themselves, they're not game developers. However, they do greenlight any requests from developers working on the game, and Toei themselves often request content to be included in the game. This is proven by the fact numerous times Toei have tipped off the developers of certain other Dragon Ball games, including Heroes, but Heroes specifically in this instance, to include content that the anime may not yet have reached in the story at that time. It's also proven due to Toei's involvement with certain animated cutscenes provided for the games, and now of course the promotional anime itself, Super Dragon Ball Heroes. This is important to mention because once again, Toei are the creators of GT and Super Saiyan 4 itself, so the lore provided for the transformation is known by Toei, and so if you want to understand the Super Saiyan 4 transformation properly, you have to take it from Toei themselves, the original creators. Even if Toei's main concern isn't coherent storytelling and is more sell lots of merchandise and make money. In Dragon Ball Heroes, there was actually a particular event in the story that had Toa and Mira fuse Android 18 with Super Android 17 from GT. This created Super Android 18. Personally, I think they could have done a little bit better with the design, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Super Android 18 then pummeled Goku, Vegeta and Gohan, and it led to Gohan getting so mad that he actually simply rage boosted into Super Saiyan 4. This can be seen and watched in a full video on YouTube. Gohan, a hybrid Saiyan, rage boosted from Super Saiyan 2 into Super Saiyan 4, skipping the need of a present tail, skipping Super Saiyan 3 and skipping the Uzaru. So many of you are probably thinking, yeah, but you can't trust what Heroes says. But once again, this is a creative direction that was okayed by Toei Animation for their lore of a Super Saiyan 4. So now we know that by Toei's rules, Gohan and hybrid Saiyans can reach Super Saiyan 4 as well. However, Gohan was born with a tail, much like Goku and Vegeta, meaning that he can transform into an Uzaru. Just because he didn't do it then doesn't mean he can't do it. We saw him do it in the anime more than once. But in the case of Trunks, Goten and Pan, they were never shown to have a tail, nor shown to transform into an Uzaru. Some fans believe this was because Toriyama simply forgot to draw them with tails. This is incorrect. The truth of the matter is that originally Toriyama got fed up of drawing Goku's tail back in Dragon Ball when Goku was still a boy, and so he had it removed multiple times in the story, before having it permanently removed by Kami later on, simply because he didn't want to have to draw it anymore. Later on, Toriyama seems to have had the same situation with Gohan, even though he drew Gohan with it again, then Vegeta, and of course, any other Saiyan that pretty much came along had a tail. Until the end of it all, Toriyama just stated that Saiyan tails are a recessive gene rather than a dominant trait, meaning that not all Saiyans, or at least hybrids, are born with tails. Does this mean that if they don't have this gene, that they can't become a Super Saiyan 4? Possibly, but then again, some recessive traits remain present among people that don't display the gene themselves. Take red hair for example. You may not directly have red hair, but you can carry the recessive trait behind the dominant trait. This is why you may not have red hair, but your child may have red hair. It's just one of those things. You can still carry the gene which will live within you, even though you don't display it yourself. Clearly this happens with Saiyans too, as pure Saiyans have black hair, yet Trunks has his mother's hair colour, blue or purple, whichever you prefer, but Bulma and Trunks are supposed to have the same colour hair, and yet still receives the ability to transform into Super Saiyans at all, even with the recessive genes present. So if you're to look at the theory posed at the beginning of this video, that the other Super Saiyan transformations that precede it could possibly be merely omens of Super Saiyan 4 being the true Super Saiyan transformation, you could argue that it's certainly possible that having any Super Saiyan transformation at all means you have the ability to reach Super Saiyan 4. Furthermore, in Dragon Ball Z, Trunks and Goten reach Super Saiyan 3, which loses the eyebrows and dons the more primal aesthetic, linking it to the Uzaru aesthetic. Two hybrid Saiyans with the recessive tail gene merged together are still able to reach Super Saiyan 3? It looks pretty good for the ability to reach Super Saiyan 4. Because if you didn't know, one of the reasons why Super Saiyan 3 doesn't have the eyebrows is it's because it's supposed to look more primal, because it was supposed to be more of a throwback to the Uzaru transformation. So if they can do it, and they have the recessive tail gene, that means it's possible for them to reach Super Saiyan 4 in that aspect. Super Saiyan transformations and Dragon Ball forms in general are shown to add features as well as subtract them. Super Saiyan 3 adds the length of hair, removes the eyebrows. Super Saiyan 4 has been shown to add tails to Vegeta and Gohan, and in potentially inconsistent animation, Fusion, Potara, Super Saiyan 4 itself are also shown to grow and hide clothes. And finally, the big elephant in the room is that Toei, man, they like money. Dragon Ball Heroes has been a successful game series running well over 10 years now, and just as they're currently doing by giving Trunks Super Saiyan God in Dragon Ball Heroes, I'm sure that soon the day will come where Toei decide to request Super Saiyan 4 Trunks, Goten, and even Gotenks. It would be silly not to. They've already given it to Bardock, Broly, Gohan, and technically Mira, along with anybody else who flutters their eyelashes nicely at Toei. I'm sure even Goku Black will get it eventually, as well as Merge Zamasu, although Merge Zamasu Super Saiyan 4 would look amazing. But with all of these bits of evidence put together, what do you guys think? I'm fairly convinced that it's possible by Toei's presented logic here. I also think that not only is it possible, but I also think that it'll actually happen in Heroes eventually, simply from the Toei Loves Money merch perspective. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, as I'd love to know your thoughts. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like as it really helps the channel and the video out. Subscribe for more content like this in future, and remember to have a great day. So until we meet again, bye!